Hi YouTube! Today we are going to be making a video, a tier list of the Genshin Impact characters as relating to the Hunger Games. Now you might be asking, what were the Hunger Games? The Hunger Games were a YA novel first and then movie adaptation of a kind of post-apocalyptic America. There was civil wars and infighting, and then there was this district system, and the Hunger Games itself was a system set up to, it was these very traumatic games for all of these districts where they would send children to quite literally fight to the death. I was reading this when I was 12. And looking back at this, I'm like, holy, this is grim. With the movie release in November, there's a lot of social media buzz, discussion, some probably designed and some with just genuine creators talking about it. And so I thought it would be fun to put the Genshin cast into the Hunger Games, as in what districts they're from, and then how well they would perform at the Hunger Games. But I have a quick little cheat sheet. So there's the capital. We are going to be sorting characters. There are characters that I think might be from the capital. District 1, luxury items made for the capital. And you can see it says careers. Now, a career in the Hunger Games universe. I was going to say the Hunger Games cinematic universe. Careers were tributes who trained their entire childhood to become a tribute in the Hunger Games. They viewed it as a privilege, and most of them were ready to give their lives for the Hunger Games to become a victor. This was kind of seen as a status symbol. District 1, 2, and 4 were careers, 3 was not. Now, essentially with the exception of 13, the further you get from the capital, the poorer and more volatile the districts were. Now, there's a little bit of a disconnect between District 3 and District 13, electronics and engineering and nuclear research and technology. So I'm kind of looking at District 13 as like a Conria situation, and District 3 is like just general technology. For instance, if I'm thinking of like Albedo and Kaya, I put Albedo in District 3 and Kaya in District 13. But these opinions are purely my own. Feel free to fight me in the comments. That'll help the algorithm. So if you disagree with so many of my opinions, please write a 1,500 word essay in the comments about why I am wrong. And the first one is Albedo. Albedo is a great example of electronics and engineering. I am definitely going to put Albedo in District 3. All right, tribute number 2 is Ito. And he was kind of a tough one to place for me. He's a bit of a himbo. He's very sweet internally, but at his core, he's a very competitive, athletic man. I still kind of view Ito as a little bit of a career. I'm actually gonna put him in District 2. He doesn't have much of a brain cell. Okay, bright and cheerful Outrider Amber. Now, I don't think she would survive very well in the Hunger Games. I believe she came up with the idea of Baron Bunny, but I believe Sucrose and Albedo helped her execute the idea of Baron Bunny. I am actually going to put Amber in District 8. Production of textiles. Next up is Barbara, and while there is no room in the districts for anything faith related or singing related, it's all post-apocalyptic, I'm going to put her in agriculture. I'm thinking about how her E-ability could water crops or help give animals some water. That's why we're gonna put Barbara in District 11. Next up is Captain Beto, the captain of the Crux fleet. She is strong, she is very will-powered, however, she's not really giving a career tribute. She is Electro, and I am going to have their visions play into this a little bit. I think Beto is a strong contender for District 5. District 5 is the power production district. Now, they're a district because they have a dam, and they have a hydroelectric dam, but I think that fits her pretty well, being the powerhouse of the story that she is. Maybe not so much in meta. Next up, we have our unlucky boy, Bennett. Now, knowing that the districts kind of rank slightly from popular to least popular or well-off to least well-off, I'm gonna put Bennett in District 12. I'm sorry, he's unlucky. District 12 gets the short end of the stick all the time. Bennett belongs in District 12. All right, after a little bit of deliberation on my part, Chongyun was kind of hard to place. Chongyun has been always known for a hard worker, He has a positive energy. We're gonna lean away from the exorcist part of Chongyun, and we're actually gonna put Chongyun in District 7. District 7 is lumber, and they are known for their hardworking attitudes. Nothing else really seemed to fit him, so that's where Chongyun is going to go. All right, Diluc, you guys might disagree. Guys might disagree. He feels like a career reluctantly. Like, the problem is, in each district, they don't really have a choice. I am actually going to put Diluc in District 1, simply because District 1 is the luxury production for the capital. That would include wine and or alcohol, and he does seem to fit the bill of a career, albeit dark and brooding. Now here's the question, do I put Diona in District 1 because she also produces wine? All right, looking at this, where does Diona go? So Diona hates the wine industry, reluctantly makes drinks, and is trying to bring the downfall of the wine industry. She loves fish, but she hates the water, so that's not a very good option for District 4. So my two thought processes were District 1 and District 4. She doesn't seem like a career, but because she makes niche luxury items, I guess you know what, Diona will be up for change, but for now, we're gonna put Diona in District 1, up with Diluc. All right, next up is Eula. Keep in mind, I was a Eula main for over a year, probably a year and a half. But looking and knowing her story and looking at the districts, I think we have the first capital candidate. I know that she renounces her clan, as it were, by working with the Knights of Favonius. But I think for the nature of this situation, I think Eula goes to the capital. All right, I think I have a good answer for Fischl. I think Fischl goes to District 6. District 6 is transportation, but that's not why. District 6 has a bit of an addiction issue, because the government, the capital, is essentially distributing drugs to make the population suppressed, because District 6 has the best opportunity to connect a rebellion, with them being transportation. So there's these things called morphlings. A morphling addiction is used to forget their past experiences. And knowing Fischl, she's a little bit disillusioned. I'm sure we're gonna get a little bit more information about her, but I think that fits. Not that I'm saying Fischl's addicted to anything, but I'm saying that being kind of trying to have a disconnect with your past self, that kind of fits Fischl. All right, Ganyu is known as being super intelligent, a very vigilant worker, overworked as well, has a very high intelligence. For this reason, I was going through her personality. For this reason, she kind of reminds me, I'm covering it up. She reminds me of Foxface. The quote, "If I apply myself to the present situation, I will be able to figure it out." I am going to put Ganyu in District 5. Next up, we have Goro, known as being a general in Kokomi's military, known for establishing camaraderie between his fellow companions. It's interesting, when I was doing some reading, it says that he has a temper. I haven't really seen that in the story. All right, for those reasons, I think Goro is going to go into District 3. I wonder if Geo is gonna be all over District 3. Next is Hu Tao. She's another little bit of a difficult one. However, I have my reasoning. You guys can feel free to argue with me. I'm fine with that. I think Hu Tao is going to District 12, not only because it's coal. District 12 had a lot of issues with the coal mines. There was a lot of people dying. Hu Tao is obsessed with helping people into the afterlife. So I think that, oddly enough, Hu Tao would be thriving in District 12. All right, next up we have Jean, a master with the sword, very diligent, and obviously the acting grand master. She's tactical, she is smart, and I think she is our first candidate for District 13. Next up, we have our boy Kazuha. Quite literally a peacekeeper, not in the sense of a Hunger Games situation, but in terms of the Genshin Impact story. He is never afraid to step up when he needs to, but he just kind of likes to go where the wind takes him. He needs open, large areas. And for that, I'm actually going to put him in District 9. We don't know too much about District 9 other than there are large swaths of land. It is very open and very wind-filled. So we're gonna put him in District 9. All right, it's your boy, Kaya! Listen, Omni, if you're watching this, this is for you. Omni's going to District 13, baby. No, Kaya is going to District 13. He's of Conrian descent. District 13 just kind of screams Conria. We're gonna put him in District 13. Next up is Ayaka. Now, Ayaka is from one of the clans in Inazuma. It kind of has a level of nobility. However, there's really no nobility in the Hunger Games. It's just the capital and then everybody else. I don't feel like Ayaka belongs in the capital. So I'm leaning into Ayaka's gentle, kind, and caring nature. And I think that we are going to put Ayaka in District 11. Aloy, the forgotten child of Genshin Impact. Aloy, I kind of don't even want to include her. However, Aloy in Horizon Zero Dawn versus... Aloy has like no personality in Genshin. She's not featured in the story. She feels very out of place. But in terms of Horizon Zero Dawn, I think she really fits in District 13. And District 13 is kind of the odd duckling out of all of the districts, so we're gonna put her in 13. Next up, Keqing. I'm not gonna explain myself. I'm not gonna do it, but I can't tell you why, but she's kind of giving Glimmer. I have a love-hate relationship with Keqing. She's going in District 1. Next up, Klee. Do you want to go fish blasting? Klee is a District 4 through and through. District 4 is fishing, but also a career. And honestly, Klee would be an absolute nightmare. She'd be the first. So I believe you can be 12 your first year in the Hunger Games. I think. And there has been nobody in the history of the Hunger Games who's been 12 and won it. So I think Klee would be the first once she hit 12. Next up is Kujo Sara, straight into the point, shoots an arrow straight as can be, very talented, very militaristic, obviously. And honestly, I feel like she'd fit in District 2 very well with Ito. They can spar and figure out, perfect, we have our two tributes from District 1 and 2. Okay, I think I'm getting my groove a little bit. Lisa is smart, intelligent, very book learning. And honestly, like, the Electro kind of gives electronics to me a little bit. We are going to put Lisa in District 3. Next up is Mona. Hydra Vision has no money to her name. I'm gonna put her in District 9 with Kazuha, actually, but hopefully she can water that grain to give people more food. I gotta start listening to my gut reactions. Okay, next up is Ningguang, the queen herself. She's very cutthroat, she's very meticulous, and she knows what she's doing. I'm putting her down. I don't know, she doesn't feel like she fits in District 13, the other powerhouse. I'm actually gonna put her in the capital. I feel like she belongs in the capital. If I put anyone's mains in the capital, they're gonna be mad. Next up is Noelle. She's a bit of a tricky one, but honestly, knowing the personality of the districts as well, District 10 is known as being very stubborn, kind of like the livestock they raise, but need to have a caring side. And Noelle is very stubborn and very persistent, but does have quite the caring side. I'm gonna put her in District 10. Oh no. Next up is I pulled a Chi-Chi. Oh my gosh, where do we put her? This is a tough one. So she works for Boo Boo Pharmacy. There's no medical, like, district. I went down a rabbit hole on Google. There's like whole role-playing stuff going on online. There's like this District 15 that does healing, and it's like in Jamaica, but it's not canon, so we can't go with it. However, I am going to put Chi-Chi in District 8 because it's production of textiles, but also in the rebellion, there was a notable hospital in District 8. Next up, Raiden Shogun. Listen, I think we all know where she's going. She's going to the capital. Raiden Shogun, taking visions away from her people. I'm not talking about A, because technically in game we play as Raiden Shogun, not A, because there's a bit of a differentiation there. But yeah, I think Raiden Shogun goes in the capital. Next up is Razor, our boy Razor. I think he's gonna go into District 7. District 7 is forestry, and there's like berries that you can forage for. So we're gonna put Razor in the forest. I think it makes sense. Next up is Rosaria. Now this was a tough one, but doing some preemptive reading, I think we can confidently put Rosaria in District 4, not because of the fishing. Now she is skilled, she kind of fits as the career title, but District 4 was known as being a rebellious district when the uprising happened and Katniss was the Mockingjay. Next up is your girl Kokomi Cleor. Kokomi is going to be put, well, any guesses for Kokomi goes. She's a war general. She is fighting against the nation of Inazuma. She's fighting against Raiden Shogun. She's opposed to Raiden Shogun. I think Kokomi goes in District 13. I would say we're about halfway through. It's fairly balanced. There's some districts with some less people, but we'll see how it goes as we keep on filling them out. All right, Sayu is a little tough to place. Listen, I'm gonna be a little bit generous on some of them. I think I'm gonna put Sayu in District 6 for transportation because Genshin players sometimes use her for transportation to be faster in Genshin Impact. So for that reason, I'm out. For that reason, Sayu is going in District 6. Next up is Shenhe. She had a very tough life growing up. Her story quest made me cry, especially with the Yunjin opera. That made me very emotional. However, in her backstory, it comes up that she doesn't have access to a lot of food, and she is lacking, and she can only eat herbs. Now, you would think that wouldn't put her in any of the food districts. However, District 11 is known for its very strict government and not allowing its citizens to eat the food that they produce. So I'm kind of torn, but I'm actually thinking to put Shenhe in District 11. Next up, we have Sucrose. Sucrose, I feel like, is a pretty cut and dry scenario. She is a alchemist. She studies under Albedo. She is smart. She's researching. I believe she goes in District 3. And it is actually shaping up. When I see who's paired together, it is shaping up, and I think it's making sense so far. All right, it's your boy Tartaglia. I was saying earlier about Diluc feeling like Kato. I think Tartaglia is a perfect example of Kato. He talks about being a Schneian toy maker with Tusser, but realistically, what he's exporting is his pretty face. So Tartaglia, District 1, definitely a career tribute. Next up, it's your good boy Toma. He's from Mondstadt, but he's a great homemaker. He takes care of Ayaka. I feel like he fits in a number of different districts, but for some reason, I just feel like it fits Toma to be taking care of cows morning, noon, and night. Don't tell me why. I can't tell you, but that's what my mind is. That's why you're here. It's to get my opinions. He goes into the agricultural district of District 10. Next up, it's your boy Venti. I use that a lot. It's your boy. It's Venti. I think he either works in transportation, District 6, because he's very good at exploration. You can use him as a wind current, but he's kind of giving Haymitch / he's kind of giving capital. I'm not really sure, but Venti is kind of giving capital. I mean, he is affiliated with Celestia after all. So it doesn't feel, I'm gonna say, I think he goes to the capital. Do all the Archons go capital? I'm not sure. All right, next up is Shan Ling. I was just looking at the district. Shan Ling, obviously an exquisite chef, very bubbly, boisterous, but also super meta in terms of the Spiral Abyss. She's a very good weapon. So I'm actually, District 1 is known for refining and making the food of the agriculture that's produced in District 11. So I don't think that Xiangling fits in District 11. I think she fits in District 1 because she's making the fancy food for the capital to eat, and also she's very meta, could be a career. All right, Xiao, he's defiant. He's got the short end of the stick in the story of Genshin. He's down on his luck. I think he goes to District 12. Next up, Xingqiu, literary boy and knowledge. I feel like he either belongs in District 3 or District 13. Looking at the two groups of people, I am thinking of putting Xingqiu in District 13 because I think that boy would be all over nuclear research and technology. So that's why I'm going to put him there. Oh boy, Xunyan does not really fit into anything. I have spent a decent amount of time looking at Xunyan. You know, and honestly, she kind of doesn't fit in the story of Genshin either. She's so fixated on rock and roll. I do love her as a character. It's just tough. It's tough. There was mention about her making her own drum. Her rock and roll guitar and her drums on her hips. So I think I'm going to put her in District 8. Textiles. I know I said Foxface earlier for Ganyu, but we have quite literally Yae Miko, conniving, smart, kind of working behind the scenes. It's giving District 5. It's giving District 5, known as power production, but also known for its very intelligent tributes. Next up, Yanfei. She is known for her legal prowess, and she will take on, out of the kindness of her heart, sometimes she'll take on pro bono cases. There's really no space for legality in terms of the districts, in terms of it would just be negotiating against the capital. But I strongly believe, due to her sense of justice, that she is not based in the capital. I am going to put her in District 11, agriculture, because they have been known to have big government, as it were. In Pan Am, I can move over to District 11. The peacekeepers are strict, so I feel like she would thrive in trying to protect the the people of the District 11 from the oppressors. Yoimiya. I think she goes in District 12 because she makes fireworks. I don't know. I feel like making those explosives, using the mining, that's where she would be able to make her fireworks. I think I'm going to put her in District 12. I feel like it would have been interesting if there was an entertainment district, like they produced entertainment for the capital, because there's a lot of people who would fit in that category. Obviously, that's not the case, but like I'm thinking Yunjin would definitely fit that. So we're going to have to assume that Yunjin's primary function is not opera. And looking through her story, she really does not have much else there. But what I think I'm going to put her in is I'm going to put her in District 10. I could see her tending for some sheep. Animals are known to love music, so maybe she has an ability to take care for animals. Zhongli. Now, I have reason to believe that I don't think Zhongli belongs in the capital, because Zhongli's main purpose in Liyue, there's going to be spoilers for Genshin, there's going to be spoilers for Hunger Games. Rex Lapis, Zhongli, Archon, he wanted to make sure his people were independent and were able to take care of themselves outside of him. And that feels very anti-capital. But you know who did fight for their independence? Was District 13. So I feel like Zhongli actually goes in District 13. Ayato, the lady's favorite. Listen, he's giving Finnick. He's Hydro. He does kind of feel like a career. He just feels like he fits in District 4. Okay, Kuki Shinobu. I feel like there's a case to be made to put Kuki in District 2. They work closely with the capital, so there's some legality there. Weapons, peacemakers, careers. Yeah, I think Kuki fits in District 2. I feel like she just does. Yelan, she's intelligent, but she's also very talented with a bow. She is kind of giving Katniss, I'm not gonna lie. She's sassy. There's a case to be made to put her in potentially District 4 as a career. I feel like Yelan could be a career. However, I feel like she best fits in District 5. District 5 is known for their intelligence, and honestly, District 5 is kind of shaping up. in my opinion. Hey, so interesting. I know that he's kind of a detective of sorts. He values the truth. He can be a little bit hard to get along with. He's a skilled fighter, but he doesn't like to fight. So the fact that he doesn't like to fight kind of takes him out of the career territory. District 8 was critical in the rebellion. Also got a lot of the information out in the early stages of the rebellion. So I'm going to put him in District 8. I feel like he doesn't really fit anywhere, but that's where I'm going to put him. I think I'm going to put Tainari also in District 8, but for the textiles. It just kind of seems to make sense to me. He's going there as well. Kale is really giving Prim, and I really think Amber would volunteer for Kale if she got reaped in the Hunger Games. Kale is going to go to District 7, the forest. Tainari, honestly, he might also move over to, he's a forest ranger. Let's move him over there as well. Dory, listen, Dory's going to the capital. Dory's giving capital, and I will not elaborate further. Candace is a leader who is kind but very strong-willed, leader of the desert in Sumeru, our village. I think I'm spending quite a bit of time on this. I think we need to put her in District 10. She's gonna go in District 10, known for taking care of large swaths of livestock. They're not a particularly wealthy district. They have to take out a lot of tesserae. I don't know if you guys know what that is, but also it is a very warm and desert region. So we're gonna go with District 10. All right, who's next? Sino. Okay, I have some thoughts. Sino was the first to kind of get involved in the plan to free Nahida, Sumeru Archon. He's also very skilled in combat. So I'm actually going to put him in District 4. District 4, not for the fish reasons, not because it's the fish district, but because to be there and stand up for what is right. Nilu, another arts district from District 14. I need to like name these. The healing District 15, the arts District 14. She was integral to the plot in Sumeru. Her dance got the guards on the move, but she didn't develop the plan. But she does have a strong sense of loyalty and caring for her friends. District 7 is the lumber district and most known for the quote, "If you burn with us." Interesting. Okay, so next up is Layla. I'm reading through her lore, and she seems to be unaware of her alternate persona. Believes she's blessed by the stars, in that when she's sleeping, she wakes up and her paper is completely finished. So there's a bit of a disconnect from dream and reality. So for a similar reason why I put Fischl in District 6, I'm actually going to put Layla in District 6 as well. Transportation. All right, Lesser Lord Kusanali. I don't think that she belongs in the capital, so perhaps the Archons do not belong in the capital. Just ride an Inventi. However, she was pretty unlucky, and the sages definitely took advantage of her. They were using her for research and development, so I'm thinking, well, District 13 is research. They are independent from the capital, so I'm inclined to put her in District 3 for technology as she was studied. Farazan is another character that I'm a little shaky on the lore, so I'm just going to deep dive something real quick. Right, she was trapped in a ruin for time gone by, and she constantly mentions that she's older and she is a senior. Her research is outdated, so I feel like that disqualifies her from District 13 or 3, but she's well known for her dress and her fancy skirt, so we're actually gonna put her in textiles. We're gonna put her in textiles in District 8. Oh, Scaramouche is an interesting one. It depends if it's like at present time Scaramouche Wanderer or whatever you've named him. I named mine Scary Swift. However, I feel like most of the Fatui Harbingers would belong in the capital. I feel like that would make sense. You know who I think Scaramouche is? Scaramouche is like, you know how Ivy trinkets for District 12? I feel like Scaramouche is the Ivy trinket for like one of the career districts. Maybe District 2. Yeah, sure. I feel like let's put him in District 2. Al Haytham. I think, you know, he's a scholar, a sage, very intelligent, very thought out, very calculating. I think he belongs in District 13. Yao Yao is known for taking care of those she's around. The Adepti treasure her, Cloud Retainer, and whatnot. She's a bit of a tricky one, I'll say, but Dendro, she regularly travels between mountains and the city. I feel like it's gonna become a bit of a meme at this point. But if I don't know where they go in District 8 or District 9. I feel like Grains, maybe. Lots of people. Let's put her in District 9. Man, Dehya would be great to have in the rebellion. She's strong-willed. She has a sense of justice. She's got a heart of gold for kids. I feel like Dehya is our strongest Katniss-like character, honestly. And like the Mockingjay, but her whole theme was flame, fire main. I think we're putting Dehya in District 12. It just makes sense. Now, Mika, is Mika even out yet? I guess we're gonna rate Mika. Baishu's on his way, so we can rate Baishu. We've seen enough of him, so we'll put him in here. But his voice is so nerdy sounding. He's really uncertain of himself, but he's a little bit of a researcher. He reports to the researchers. He has a number of weapons, but he's not really proficient with him, so he's definitely not a career. He likes mapping. Now, this is the first time I've pulled this out, but this is the general map. I think that Mika's a strong candidate for District 9, because then he could do some exploration into the wilds. So, District 9, you're sticking with your I don't know where to put him. Baishu, healer, has a snake. Definitely not a career, because he is very, he's unhealthy in that, like, he's not known to be in good health. Maybe it's because he's got the black lung pop. Let's put him in District 12. All right, Kaveh is in building and architecture. He is smart, but he's not like nuclear engineer smart. That's why Al Haytham's in District 13 and Kaveh's in District 3. I think it makes sense. All right, last but not least, we have the two travelers, Aether and Lumine. So we're gonna treat Lumine as the Abyss Princess and Aether as the protagonist. Listen, in my Genshin game, it's Lumine as the protagonist and Aether is the Abyss Prince, but hidden different. I think Aether is canon. I'm just gonna say it. God, I'm making so many assumptions here. My goal is to make someone angry. Somebody here is gonna be angry. Get mad at me in the comments. I don't care. Okay, so by that logic, would Lumine be in the capital? Or District is District 13 is not the Abyss, but the capital is not the Abyss either. I feel like Aether, if is the main character, would go District 12 or District 13. Because the Aether would be the Katniss of our story. I feel like that would put Lumine in the capital. I feel like if Aether is canon traveler, Lumine is in the capital. All right, looking at all of these, I'm fairly confident with my assessment. However, I think Shanling, not a tribute, does not belong in luxury. I kind of established my rules going on, so I think I'm actually gonna move her down to agriculture. I feel like that makes sense. But aside from that, this is my official sorting of the Genshin Impact characters. Damn, that took ages. This video must be so long. This is gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to speedrun edit. Well, I'm going to download this and save this to Twitter. But if you want to argue with me on Twitter, I'm down for it. All right, that was the Genshin Impact all characters sorted into districts. Yes, I definitely am going to make a part 2. That'll probably come out maybe next week of how I think the characters would fare in the Hunger Games. I think there's characters that would die very quickly. There's characters that would probably make it pretty far to the end, so be on the lookout for that video. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if I got any wrong or which ones you thought I got right. And I will see you guys in the next video. All right. Thank you if you stuck it all the way to the end of this video. All right. Good night.